So hello and welcome back to another brand new exciting episode of Video Ditch. As always, it's Sam and Nick. And Nick, please introduce our next guest, if you would.
Passion is a force that drives everything that matters in this life, and there's no one more filled to the brim with passion where it's literally blasting out of him as this developer we have on today. Zachary, aka Zagawi, was the creator of a true passion project, GARBANZO Quest, which was sadly ignored for far too long until people realized, like, oh my God, there's actually good games on Steam. Maybe I should play this. Maybe I should look at this. Maybe I should check it out, send it to my friends, take it over to their house. We could play it together. They could be a pinto bean. I'll be a garbanzo bean, et cetera, et cetera. And certainly that happened. But in the meantime, what happened in his mind? What sort of festering ideas created when you make something with such intent, such will, such true artistic merit, and the world overlooks it? You get these dark ideas, these dark forces swirling around in your brain, knocking around, forcing those wickedness that everything that you hold back into a brand new, much darker, much more forceful, much more powerful idea. And that's what the subject of today's episode is: the upcoming game Super Debt, a game that is about everyday life in America.
Yep.
Perfect.
For sure. Wow. That's quite the intro.
Yeah, Zachary, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thank you very much.
Excited.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into it, before we get your story, do you want to tell the viewers and listeners just briefly who you are and what you do at your studio as it is?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hi, my name's Zachary. Sometimes known on the internet as Zagawi. My mom calls me that. I make video games. Usually, mostly by myself. I just like learning things and making weird stuff, and I hope people like it.
Perfect. Yeah. And today, as Nick mentioned, we'll be talking Super Debt, a new and exciting game that we've both had the pleasure of playing the demo that's out on Steam right now, and there's a Kickstarter live as well. But we'll be getting into that.
Put your money in that. Go into debt yourself. Open an
exactly.
AMX Platinum and max it out. They don't got a limit. You can just put whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Give me all of your money.
It'll go into the
later.
Indie gaming ecosystem and eventually come back to you. Yeah,
exactly. It's a ludonarrative. What's the word? Assonance or
resonance?
Yeah. What's the opposite of dissonance? It's that ludonarrative resonance. If you also get $100,000 in debt, I mean, that's just the start.
But speaking of the start, Zachary, we like to ask everybody, about their history with gaming, and based on the output, these two games, Garbanzo Quest and Super Debt, is it fair to assume that you have your roots in the 90s kind of retro platforming?
Yeah. Big time.
It is. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, my older brother, he was a gamer, and I would play all his video games. So even the older stuff before my time, like Nintendo Entertainment System, all that stuff. But yeah, I absolutely fell in love with video games from an early age. I just think they're really cool. And ever since I was a little kid, I was like, I think I want to make video games when I'm older. And but the Super Nintendo era, that definitely had, I think, the biggest impact because I don't know. I just had by the time I was of age to play video games, we already had this kind of catalog of Super Nintendo cartridges, and I just kind of tore through a lot of those. And I always loved Super Mario World. I don't know. It's just a cool video game. And I think I really kind of had the privilege of growing up in a time where every few years, a new video game console would come out, and it was the next biggest, coolest thing. And it was really cool to start video games where all you had was the Super Nintendo and pixel art, and then I don't know, 10, 15 years later we're playing really high fidelity.
Yeah, there's a real sense of innovation at the time. Yeah, so, totally.
I just thought that was super cool. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, right on. You mentioned gaming with your older brother, and I noticed that both Garbanzo Quest and Super Debt have the option for local co-op. Is that something that's just been important to you as a gamer kind of your whole life?
Oh, yeah. Just when I want to make, my stuff, I think about the things that were important to me when I was playing games. And I think in maybe the last 10 years, I've been kind of disappointed with the mainstream video game stuff. It's been more about iterating on how to take money from people than like how to make cool new stuff. So yeah, when I make my games, I really try to capture some of the things that may have been lost. And one of those things I think is local co-op. Doing online co-op is like a huge undertaking and a pain, but I think there's something special about like just having to be in the same room as someone, like playing a game together. And I think that is really it makes my stuff feel more special knowing that people can do that, like playing a game with their like favorite person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love it. I think it's a wonderful
Definitely
quality
adds to the
to the
experience.
games. Yeah.
It's something everything is missing, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I was thinking about
33. That was the greatest failing in that game, was the lack of local co-op for me.
I think that would
Which game is
actually
that?
work super
Expedition
well.
33.
If it had like
That's
a
another game.
Tales style multiplayer component during battle.
Yeah.
I'm super. I haven't played a lot of like the big new like AAA games. I'll play like weird indie games. I know
Okay,
Expedition 33 is indie, right?
It's technically indie. It's like
Technically,
double
Yeah,
A.
it's like
Yeah.
double A.
Double
It's like
A,
indie,
yeah.
In that
indie the same
nebulous
way.
zone.
What was that Starfield Revolver is? A humble loan of $17 million or something. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
I play a lot of like crunchy, weird indie games.
Good.
Right on.
Very small teams.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
No, I
like
think
what
that's
I'm
I think that's
saying
great.
here. Mhm.
Okay, wonderful. With the side-scrolling, platforming genre, what about it appeals so much to you as a delivery for narrative and gameplay and player expression? Because I feel with Garbanzo Quest, I played a bit of the demo, and already like you get like there's a lot of decision making. I think within your game that I think is
Yeah.
it's just a nice change of pace, and I think it's a wonderful addition to that genre. But I'm wondering about like what about the formula appeals to you and what you want to
sure.
iterate upon with it.
I guess maybe nostalgia. Like I said, I absolutely love Super Mario World, and I feel like not a lot of games have kind of captured that energy that game had of like primarily like the overworld and all the branching paths and the secrets, and so I always knew that was going to be my first game, regardless of the marketability of it. I guess we can get into that later, but yeah, overall, I have no really big regrets about Garbanzo Quest. It's my baby, and I love that game. But yeah, I always knew I wanted to make a platformer, and one of the things that I also felt like I could do was making something where a lot of the complexity was in the level design. Like Garbanzo's moveset is like incredibly simple, which is maybe like the opposite of what you expect in a platformer. Like even in like Celeste, you have like the dash, and there's a lot. Like even if you just put that character in like a blank room, you could probably like have fun and do cool stuff. Where like Garbanzo kind of is the opposite, where like the complexity is in the level design. It's almost like puzzly, I guess. So I just wanted to explore that with my game.
And we don't have to dwell too much on Garbanzo Quest because I do want to talk about Super Debt. But at a glance, how long was that development cycle for you? Because I know you also have a YouTube channel where you go into pretty in depth about a lot of the design.
Yes, anyone who wants to see a real game developer actually makes games, I would strongly suggest you watch his channel.
Yeah, thanks. After I released Garbanzo Quest and it kind of flopped a little bit, and I was like, how do I fix this? And so I just tried a bunch of different things. Eventually, I was like, I'm going to do a YouTube because like I have a pretty good story. Maybe I saw a niche that I could fill where I also noticed like I like watching YouTube videos and like game dev YouTube, and I noticed not a lot of them have finished games. So I was like, okay, I can
like
fill
how
this
much
niche.
are they practicing?
This is my opportunity.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, cool.
I forgot what the question was.
The development cycle of
right.
Garbanzo Quest. How long was that from
Right.
at a glance? Yeah.
Yeah. So the first year, so it was 4 years overall.
Okay.
The first year was I had a full-time job, and it was just kind of something I was poking around with for fun. I was working as a web developer, software engineer for a hospital. This was during COVID, so
Okay.
it was. Can I say bad words on your
Yes,
show?
Yeah,
please.
absolutely.
It was fucking crazy.
It's terrible. Yeah. Fucking awful.
Healthcare is already fucked up, but it's like during a
my
global
God.
pandemic, it was crazy.
Kind
But
of set the seeds for later. Sounds like.
yeah, I learned some things there. But I worked there for 2 years. most of it was during COVID. After like COVID started to slow down a bit, I was like, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of working for other people. I want to do something that's more fun. I want to own my own labor. And I felt like it was a good time to leave because things were slowing down. So I did. And so this like goofy little game I was working on in my spare time, I was like, I'm going to try to finish this and make some money on it. And I didn't know what I was doing. I learned so much in the 3 years that I spent making that game by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
leading up
I
to
did.
that, had you dabbled in game dev a lot before at that point, or was Garbanzo Quest
It was a
kind of
hobby.
like, okay,
I had been trying to make games on and off for like 10 years, like
okay,
ever since I could.
yeah,
I have so many scrapped projects. I have a hard drive full of like just a graveyard of like dozens of weird, crappy games.
mm-hmm. A potential gold mine to revisit potentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of them are not good.
That's how it goes. Okay, so first year was kind of figuring all that out, and then the process, throughout those years, got a little easier. You found with Garbanzo Quest, yeah.
So the code base for Garbanzo Quest at the end was like such a mess because I was learning so much. Everything I was doing for the first time, like ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we mentioned at the top you do this mostly by yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
At what point were you getting help from other people during this development cycle?
Really just with playtesting, really.
Okay, right on, yeah.
Just like bothering my friends and making them playtest the game over and over and over. That's like the most important thing you can do to make sure your game is good. Just to like sit like your friend or someone in a room and watch them play it.
Yeah, the value of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, see if they smile or if they frown or cry or anything.
Because if you just like send someone your game and then they'll play it and then they'll be like, yeah, it was good, But when you can sit and watch them play it, like you learn so much just from like even the things that are like go unsaid. So super important.
The response to it. Yeah, I'm sure. Pretty cool. All right, Nick, any questions about Garbanzo Quest or the gaming past as it is, Nick?
Yeah, I know you mentioned that Garbanzo Quest was like your very first major finished product, that you coded everything, all the music, all the sound effects, everything about that. All that going into the creation of the game, was there anything that was a profound challenge or anything that sticks out in the actual development from your memory?
Game development is like a million simple tasks. It's not often like there's this one big impossible thing to do. It's just like it's a marathon.
Okay.
And I love what I do, but it's also like it's hard. And I'm tired.
It seems exhausting.
Yeah. And I do things by myself, and there's a lot of pros and cons to that. But it is kind of like stressful that like every decision is my decision, and like when I'm not working on the game, nothing's happening. So,
It rests solely on you. Yeah,
it's very much a piece of yourself. Yeah.
If
the world accepts it, that's great. You've been accepted. If the world rejects it, well, they're wrong, then, aren't they?
Yeah,
those are the options. But yeah, it is interesting to know. It does seem like game development is I think it's very romanticized by people who aren't really into it or don't try it at all, because it seems like, oh, you just draw or you make these 3D models and you kind of smash it all together and you get Dark Souls or something. But it is interesting to hear how most of it is sort of like the day-to-day tedium and the fine-tuning and the creation. It's not so much you solve a giant problem, you scale a giant mountain, and then your game's on the other side.
Yeah. No, it's just a lot of hard work.
Yeah. Very real cost. A million small tasks is a good way of putting it.
Yep. Big time.
With the music in your games, do you have a musical background, or is that something that, it was just like you knew that your games are going to need it, so it's just something that you
very John Carpenter
have to make? Yeah.
I just love learning things. I first started learning how to make music maybe, when I was like late teens. Just like playing with stuff on like GarageBand on the family computer.
Hell yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know. I like learning how to do things where it makes something. I don't know.
It's a satisfying process, certainly. I was just going to ask, what to you makes good video game music? Because I do think that the music in Garbanzo Quest and Super Dead has a very it's charming, and it's very good.
Yeah.
More like retro inspired in Garbanzo Quest, and then with Super Dead, I feel like you're trying a little different things. Yeah.
I'm always trying to, level up, learn new things, get better. It's a good question. I think it's really important that the music is not annoying because you're gonna hear it
Fair.
like
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of what decided how long the levels would be in Garbanzo Quest.
Oh, really?
They're like 2 to 3 minutes long. I didn't want them to be any longer because I was like, oh, I don't want people to get annoyed with my music because it's
I don't
very
want the
like,
track to like keep looping
yeah,
on. Yeah.
I like to write music that's catchy, and like I think that's catchy music can get grating if you.
Too much of a
It's
good
not.
hook
Yeah,
is like,
exactly.
yeah.
It's not. So that's why the levels are
I
kind of short.
see.
'Cause
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah.
you'll won't be listening to the same song for like 20 minutes.
No. Were there any other sort of solutions like in pacing that you found just naturally crop up like during development? Just like,
Um,
oh, I realize it's not fun to like do this level for like 5 minutes. It's more fun to do like within.
right. There's so much iteration involved. Like half of the levels in Garbanzo Quest just got cut because it
Really?
just weren't fun. Yeah.
Oh.
Like they weren't all like fully developed, but I think it's really important to know when to just say this isn't working. Doesn't matter how much time you put into it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Were there
Like I don't
any
want to waste anybody's time with this.
Yeah, certainly. Were there any ideas that you were just like trying really hard to like incorporate? Like, I believe in this so much, but then by the end of the day, it's just like this is not fun.
Uh, uh, the That's a good question. The World 3 has some really wacky ideas, like with the anti-gravity,
Mm.
like fog, and the boss for that area, the mushroom guy. I had to rework them like 20 times. I was so stubborn. I was like, this is such a cool idea. I have to make it work. But it was too hard. It was too confusing. So I had to water it down like a million times. So he's like super easy if you know what you're doing. I made his health like super low. But the gimmick is that you're in this like material and you fall slowly and there's no ground. You're just like falling over and over. And there's like a teleporter up and down. So like it's just very what's the word? I don't know, it's just wacky.
Disorienting, yeah.
Disorienting, yeah, exactly. But I don't know. World 3 is maybe my least favorite because of that. Whereas I was just like really stubborn about certain things. And I think in the end I did get it to work, but it's still kind of like something's off about it.
Yeah.
But
okay. Nick, any more questions about Garbanzo Quest?
Yeah. So let's say from Garbanzo Quest and going into the future now with Super Debt and all the projects that you've made in the past that have kind of fallen by the wayside or put in the graveyard. What has been your philosophy of the creation of these games? What do you want the games to exemplify? What do you think is important in the games, and what matters when you're creating them?
What matters to me is that I feel like I'm making something that's like worthy of people's time. I think one of the greatest strengths of like indies, of small teams, is like being very like personable or personal. Like it really feels like it was made by a person. And I try to really lean into that. I try to make my games feel like they have a lot of heart and there's a point to them. And I just try to draw from the things that I enjoyed as a kid. I try to make it feel like art and not just a mechanism for extracting money from you.
I
know.
I think you accomplished that. Yeah,
I think you're succeeding. Yeah, these are very like authentic experiences.
Yeah, authentic's the word. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I know we all gonna make a living, but like if I just cared about money, I'd still just be making websites. I'm working like 10 times harder to make like 10 times less money, but
but you're sharing something that matters to you with people. Yeah, no, I get it. I feel you 100%.
I'm way happier than I was before.
And I think you're exactly right about like the genre of indie games like exemplifies that philosophy like 100%. I think that's why it's such an appealing just like landscape or market to kind of like jump into. So yeah, let's talk about Super Debt. Your current project. Yeah, please tell us about it.
Oh yeah, so Super Debt, the idea was born a month after Garbanzo Quest came out. Probably.
Oh shit.
Yeah, at the like the most sad I've been in a while, and just sad and angry. And I was like,
incredible.
Okay, I also like Garbanzo Quest was like super cute and friendly, and I spent so much time trying to round the edges and make the game like easier and like more approachable. And I kind of got sick of that. I was like, how many times do I have to sand this corner? Like, I'm sick of it. I want to make a game that's
I
like,
want to slap someone in the face
yeah,
now.
I want to make a game that like looks mean and angry, and I can not have to hold back so much.
Oh, that's so fun.
As
As a
Zoe
dev,
say
yeah.
F word or something if you get real crazy with it.
Yeah. I still haven't decided if it's like more T or M rated, but there's gonna be bad words.
More thug or more GTA is the eternal dilemma.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just Super Debt. Also, at that time, I was like, I don't know if this might be my last game. So I'm just going to put it all out there. I'm going to get fucking political. I'm going to say crazy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just that was another thing I watered down for Garbanzo Quest. Like, you can still kind of read into the themes a bit. Like, the main bad guy's like a billionaire.
Yeah, capitalist.
Business guy. So I was like, okay, I'm not holding back anymore because I don't know how many. This might be my last. Like,
yeah. Why bother pulling your punches with your art?
Yeah,
you know
exactly. That's how I felt. I was like, okay. Also, like Garbanzo Quest, I feel like one of the problems was it was like really cute and like easy to like, oh, that's cute, and like kind of look over it. I wanted to make something that was more like
you feel.
Yeah. I wanted something that was more like gonna get your attention.
Yeah, more in your face with it. I mean, it's literally the whole point of the game. Not to get too far ahead of myself, but yet the fact that you're constantly bleeding cash. It's like
your debt is always increasing. It's insane. Yeah.
Remember this from real life? Remember this from every second of your life, idiot?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then for viewers and listeners at home, just let them know like the genre, the gameplay overview of Super Debt.
Oh,
what
sure.
are we looking at here? Yeah.
Right. I should probably say that. Yeah, it is a bullet hell roguelike. It is hectic and kind of like has a lot of weird ideas. The game is obviously, it's called Super Debt. It's built around money. Everything is money. I tried to kind of subtract like all of the like design and like numbers you might expect in an action game, like your health, stamina, ammo, all that stuff into like one number, which isn't something I've seen a lot of before. Games like
Gauntlet being an inspiration.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. In that game, yeah, your health and the timer are one number. And I was like, I don't know. When I played that game, it kind of like I just started getting all these ideas. Like, oh, that's cool. I love clever little things like that. And in Dark Souls, like your experience points and your money are the same thing. So I was like, this isn't something I've seen iterated on a lot. So
yeah, another experiment in reductive design. Yeah,
exactly.
Very cool.
I think it works nicely too, because once you hear about it, it's like something's like, oh, of course, money is everything. We all already know this. We already encounter this every day. But to see it actually in practice in a game, I think makes something very, very tense and very exciting.
Yeah, Nick and I were talking about it before the show. It just makes the whole experience much more intentional because you're thinking about the cost like constantly. With the bullet hell genre, are there any personal favorites there for you or big inspirations?
Yeah, big Toho head or more of an Undertale guy?
Or like a
Binding of Isaac. Undertale. Okay. Undertale.
See
I fucking love Undertale. That hit me right at the specific like.
I was you were just like primed for it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Late teen. That's maximum damage.
Right. Well, Sans, she's just like me.
Yeah.
We both wear blue.
My worldview.
Yeah. I love Undertale.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Undertale, Binding of Isaac, Star of Providence, Hades a little bit. Yeah, I love all those games. But I super, super love Undertale. Obsessed with it, kind of.
All right, right on. And it does seem like there's going to be a heavy narrative element in Super Debt as well.
That is something I, in my quest to learn new things, that's something I wanted to explore, was like a more present narrative. Because in Garbanzo Quest, it was just kind of like, the only time anyone talked was to like say something goofy. So I want to explore what it's like to kind of tell a story.
And, I think different genres provide different avenues to do so. Totally. Very cool. Go for it.
Yeah, I've grown up playing like video games where like just mashing through text boxes, be like, why? This is annoying. Just shut up. I just want to play the game. That's like my
I understand the feeling. Yeah.
my fear. My writing of this game is kind of operating around that fear. I don't want to like waste people's time with like wordy dialogue that no one cares about. I want it to add to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've played one too many games where it's like, who
Appreciate
cares?
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a bit of
exposition
like
dumps.
irony poisoned or just like self-stroking kind of dialogue is like
Yeah.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Mhm.
Authenticity is the name of the game when it comes to dialogue that resonates, I think.
That's a very good point,
Yeah.
Nick. That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
Still got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. So you said the idea came like about a month after Garbanzo Quest's release.
Pretty much.
Was
'cause-
the genre set in stone at that point? You're like, oh, I'm gonna do bullet hell.
Not
Or was
really.
it just thematically, you knew you wanted to do something darker.
I wanted to do something less friendly because I was sick of like just having to stand every corner. And I had this like idea in my head of like the money is everything gimmick kind of just nagging at me. And I just found that like the crazy bullet hell like roguelike really worked well. Because like in a roguelike, you can kind of like have your like go into crazy situations and then like you can get reset back to, I don't know, normal. And it also feels like punishing because you can like make it like 40 minutes in and then just die and lose everything, which lends itself to like, I don't know, the atmosphere I'm going for. And yeah, just like the bullet hell thing. It's just, I like crazy hectic stuff. And I think that lends itself to what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think, yeah, thematically, exactly. It resonates very well with the whole idea. The fact that you are basically you are a what, resuscitated corpse.
Yeah.
Basically like glorified slave labor for this company just for sheer entertainment value. The idea that the whole loop system, the whole like infinite debts, dying, coming back to life, even like the little screen where there's slight body status, like okay enough, like worth keeping them around as an asset. It's very dark, but I think that it suits what you're going for. And I think it suits the story that you're trying to create. So I think that's a big problem also with a lot of roguelikes. Like, well, in this game you die, you come back to life. Why? Because people like that. People want to pay for that. So I think that utilizing it in this way where it resonates narratively also kind of elevates it a little bit more than something that just takes your time and attention away. So you forget that you have a job for a couple of hours. I think that that's an important part of the game or games in general is that synergy, that marriage.
I think that's a lot of fun to try and like write around why the game is structured the way it is.
Mm-hmm. It's certainly super interesting. With the narrative, I suppose, and we kind of touched upon this earlier. We mentioned with the Garbanzo Quest, the kind of your experiences there, influencing the tone and themes of this game. Do you want to talk about that? Sure, I guess your experiences like post-launch of Garbanzo Quest and perhaps like the emotions you were feeling there and the motivations with making Super Dead.
Those feelings of like, I don't know, frustration with just, I don't know, the economic system we live under have always been with me. I watched.
It does seem like a real uphill battle to try and like produce and release any art in today's landscape. Like,
you're actually discouraged from it.
It's just such a Sisyphean task.
Why try anything? Make AI do it for you for free money.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started on that shit.
Make AI build your Twitter clone for free money.
That's the sister podcast, our anti-AI podcast. Go on for 2 hours there, but please, Zachary.
Just I don't know, watching my my older siblings and my parents kind of like struggle financially, despite being like just the best people I know, the best hardworking people I know. Like, you start to ask questions like, why is it that way? That doesn't seem right. So that just has been festering for a long time. And so, when I released Garbanzo Quest after just like 3 years of like going for it, I burnt through like all my life savings trying to do this thing. And the release day was such a fucking nightmare. It's probably one of the worst days of my life, honestly.
Really? If you wouldn't mind telling us about it.
Yeah, I can give the little spiel.
Yeah, truncated version. You don't have to. Please relive it for us.
So Cliff Notes. I decided to do early access for my game, which was a bad idea for a lot of reasons. When you release a game in early access, you are, as far as the algorithm is concerned, you are releasing it. And when I released Garbanzo Quest in early access, like maybe a year and a half earlier, it kind of looked like a student project. I don't know. So it grew a lot since it came out, since it released in early access. And so I guess the algorithm was still kind of treating it like this derpy student project thing. But yeah, I've like almost erased it from my mind what happened on release day. But there was some complication with okay, so I wanted to do a release day discount, but the price of the game was $12 because it was an early access. I wanted to raise it to $20. So there are three things that needed to happen in the back end that day. The discount needed to come out. I need to increase the game's price, and I needed to launch the game out of early access. It's such a so what happened was, so the discount was scheduled when I woke up the morning to release the game. The discount was already happening. So what I found out was you cannot increase the price of a game while it's in a discount.
After a discount has gone live, I see.
Yeah, and you can't. So I ahead of time I had requested to increase the price of the game, like, and I got the okay from Steam. Like, yeah, that's fine. So it was in this status where it was also like, this has a pending price change. So you can't release a game from early access while it has a pending price change. So it was like all these weird mechanisms.
Like getting in the way of itself. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. You get the idea. It was just a bunch of like weird shit.
Bureaucracy that you have to deal with.
Yeah,
a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's happening to me
Awful.
on like one of the most like important days.
Yeah, it's just like,
but
that sounds awful.
It gets worse because like for whatever reason, the power company like knocked on the door and they were like, "We're gonna turn your power off for like a few hours."
This is some
while
sitcom
I'm
shit.
trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
It's like such a fucking nightmare.
That sounds terrible. My condolences.
Never-ending nightmare spiral. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Luckily, I was able to navigate out of the bureaucratic thing.
Mm-hmm.
The catch was that the game was stuck at $12 with the discount, so it was going for $9 when I wanted it to go for 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe more people bought it because of the lower price, but
what a charitable dev. Thank you.
Yeah. It wasn't the price I wanted to go with that day.
I see.
And I don't know. It was a mess.
A mess. It certainly sounds like it.
And I guess the initial response to the game was very positive, but it wasn't like too crazy because I had all these people telling me like your release day is going to be like the most money you're ever going to make, and so I was like, it was good, but it wasn't like, it was kind of like, oh, if this is as good as it gets, I'm fucked.
A bit discouraging. Yeah. I could imagine.
But
especially after like the investment that you put into it. Yeah, that
exactly. So I did not make back like the, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 I spent on just being alive for like 3 years.
Oh yeah. Very real cost.
Yeah. But luckily, I think a year and a half in, I've finally like broken even on Garbanzo Quest. It's made enough money to like pay for all that. So
justify its existence.
Yeah, exactly. But that release a few months after Garbanzo Quest came out was kind of a dark time.
I see, and that's when the ideas.
That's when
swirling. I see.
Like Super Debt was born.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. All right.
From the inky blackness, it is a much harsher game than Garbanzo Quest. I mean, especially after just finishing it, seeing the same enemies in the Super Debt style, it's horrifying to see them, like those smiling freaks I hate from the chase levels. Being able to kill them though is nice. Being able to kill them is very nice. I'm glad I could kill Mr. Candy Cane too. It'd make me really smile. Just hoping.
Yeah, I'll add Mr. Candy Cane one of these days.
Just for me, thanks. But yeah, it's I mean, unfathomably horrible that happened to you. I am glad that with, I suppose, through your videos, the word of mouth, people actually playing it, realize that you have made a solid game. That is something that people should play. Everything about it has, as I said, justifies reason to exist in the Super Debt world sense, but also, what's the word? How has it been looking back at Garbanzo Quest now that you're going through Super Debt? Has the success of it, you think, with the future success of it, does it give you hope for Super Debt? I know the Kickstarter's already surpassed 100%, and it's not even close to being over.
Yeah,
What's your outlook going forward with Super Debt, future projects, and your status as kind of like an established auteur in the indie scene as it is?
Yeah, things are looking up. I am feeling optimistic. I am still kind of like just treading water, but it's like things are just have only gotten better since Garbanzo Quest came out. Yeah, I actually revisited working on Garbanzo Quest last week. I added Zoe from Super Debt into it as a playable character.
Yeah, I was playing the demo this morning. I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
I know this character.
Mm-hmm. So it was fun. It was fun to go back to Garbanzo Quest after so long. I do love that game. It's my baby.
Narratively, are we allowed to talk about the of like shared world here, or is that something you want to keep
Freedom
under
Lands?
I have, I've spoken about this before. Yeah, it is. Super Debt is in an alternate fucked up universe of Garbanzo Quest. So I like to say this is the world of Garbanzo Quest if Garbanzo didn't save the world.
Yeah, this is the Wind Waker timeline.
How Legend of Zelda,
yeah.
Same shit.
Exactly.
Incredible. Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
I also like to say it's because not enough people bought the game. It's like, this is what you get.
This is what happens when you don't support me. Oh,
let's find Garbanzo floating in a vat halfway through the game.
Maybe.
Oh, shit. Wonderful. Wonderful. Going through some of the behind the scenes and the YouTube shorts, it seems like you're very, and even just playing the games, you're very like detail oriented developer. What has been one of like the most fun, like small details to add into the game that you feel like has gotten the least, like people seeing, you know?
For Super Debt, the transactions in the top left, I think are a lot of fun because like it'll list everything that you spend money on. Like every time you shoot a bullet, it'll be like, okay, you lost a quarter for this and stuff like that. And just trying to make that look just right. I think it's been important. I think I just really I love level design. I love design. I love making things like really punchy and readable. That's really important to me. I also like to add goofy stuff, even though like maybe I should. Like in Garbanzo Quest, I added a mini game where you can make a drawing, and it'll like show up randomly throughout levels. Just like cute little shit like that. So I will often get like distracted. It's fun for me too because I get to do something different, learn something new. I just like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it adds overall just the atmosphere and heart of a project.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the touches, the things that you had absolutely no need to add whatsoever, but you just wanted to, I suppose. I feel like that also kind of is emblematic of that older game design too. Like there's so many things. It's like, why do they put this in? They don't get anything out of it. There's a chance you could never even see it. But I suppose that's what makes it that much more exciting to find it, or that much more fun to encounter it. Almost like it was made just for you. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah. The level of care is personal touch.
I care a lot.
Yeah. Always appreciated, certainly. I suppose with Super Debt, Nick, do you have any more questions about it? Or do we want to kind of move on into looking towards the future in the community Q&A?
Will Zoe be killing people in the game? Will there be visceral execution style cutscenes or animations in the game?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Depends on my mood.
Wonderful. And then I guess similarly, what we asked about with Garbanzo Quest, with Super Debt, what are you trying to impart on players? What would you like for them to walk away with after experiencing this game?
I guess if you are feeling frustrated about things, like you feel like things are not fair in a way that's like grossly inappropriate, that you're not alone. That's like a very normal thing to feel.
Totally.
And just that like even though things are fucked up, you can try to make the world a better place in however little way you can. That there's hope, even though things are
pretty shitty,
really bad. Things look really bad.
Beautifully said. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Well, perfect. With Super Debt, we know there is a Kickstarter that is live right now. Hopefully, by the time this episode goes up, it is still
It will
going
be.
live.
I'll make sure of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
everyone watching this, even if you just skip to this because you want to put community Q&A, I'm going to remember to put the community Q&A tag here to trick people.
Yeah.
Go to Kickstarter, put some money in, become a ghost, or click on the bankruptcy tag just for laughs.
Yes.
Fund it. He's proven that he is a capable developer. He cares about making games. It will be a game you can enjoy and, dare I say, will enjoy. And what are you doing with all that money anyways, huh? You a miser, you're
Exactly.
Scrooge, you don't need it. I put my money into it. Why can't you? Et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, be supportive. It's a wonderful project that I would personally like to see come to fruition. I want more content. So yeah, do it for me, actually. Do it because I asked you
do it
to.
for Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, Zachary, before we move into the community Q&A, I guess with Super Debt, is there a release date planned right now, or is that still kind of up in the
Not
air?
really.
Okay. Right on.
It's done when it's done.
Yeah. Perfect. No,
But,
that's a
yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, so it won't be like one of those things where it takes like 10 years to finish it. I promise. At least
it
within,
will
like,
get finished.
yes, within
Yes.
like a reasonable timeline.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I always like to ask people, what are you playing? Like when you're not developing your game. You mentioned you like playing these, weird, crunchy indies. So what's
Yeah.
in the rotation right now?
So I don't play a lot of video games because like I make video games all day and like it kind of exercises that same part of my brain.
Fair enough.
Lately I pass out like while watching Friends. It's
I'm
like
doing a rewatch as well right
yeah.
now. It's
yeah, I like stuff that's not too intellectually demanding, but
Yeah.
I have been playing Eugenics lately. I love that game. I have been playing Edmund's games since like the Newgrounds days, since like Aether and Spewer.
Amazing.
I'm
Newgrounds reference.
Yeah. I don't know. I always related to his art because I'm like a weird artist person. At least that's how I see myself, and I saw that in his work too, where it's just kind of like
outsider art.
Yeah,
Totally.
all outsider art. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Eugenics. I just did the final quest, and it was kind of like ridiculous. I thought I was gonna have.
That's what I heard. My brother-in-law's been playing, and he's like, I just got fucked up. And I was like, I'm gonna walk away from this game.
The game, it's not too hard, but it is incredibly punishing. It is punishing. It is kind of like a ball kicking simulator, I think. Like things will be going just fine, and then like out of nowhere, some crazy event happens.
Pulls the rug out from under you.
Yeah, it just kicks you in the balls as hard as it can.
Beautiful.
But I don't know.
Good.
By design.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different, and I like things that are weird and different.
Very cool.
Yeah, games need to be adversarial with the consumer. Can't just be like, you win, you're the best.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be Crimson Desert. Be Eugenics,
Yeah.
Kick your player in the balls.
Yeah. Shove their head in the sand and make them eat dirt.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played one too many games where they're just too nice to you.
I understand completely. And yeah, we'll start our community Q&A coming in strong with a question from Lulu.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Oh, what do you got here, Nick?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Any words of wisdom
of
you got for someone who wants to get into game development, music, art, and any artistic pursuits whatsoever?
Multifaceted.
Sure. Yeah. If you feel like this is something you like need to do, then you kind of just need to do it. For years, I was like, I kind of put it off. I was like, oh, that's stupid. I'm never gonna. Well, who do I think I am trying to like make video games? Like try to be successful with that. Like that's so risky. But I don't know. You only got this one life to live. You gotta do what you are supposed to do. There's no such thing as not taking risks. And just you got to do it. If you want to do it, you have to.
Yeah. Now more than ever, the world needs artists.
Yeah.
So
a life
and also
with no gains, a life unlived.
Yeah, and also be sure to take care of yourself, because if you just like work and don't eat healthy, and it catches up with you.
Certainly wise.
I kind of hurt myself a little bit making Garbanzo Quest, and then like immediately after, when I noticed it wasn't doing so hot, like I didn't really get to take a break. I just kind of went right into Super Debt, and I got like super burnt out. I had to take like a whole month off to just do nothing. It was weird, but yeah, I have been focusing on my health and like just trying to do everything right. Because
That's real as fuck. Yeah.
yeah, you kind of have to.
Like you got to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
Totally.
it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take care of yourself. All that good stuff.
Yeah. And do it. Just make sure
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Zachary.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah. First question coming in from Lulu Pa. The player character of Super Debt has a really unique design. What inspired it, if anything?
So yeah, I just wanted to make a character that was like different. I think we have plenty of like video game heroes that are like straight white dudes. I just wanted to, yeah, just I don't know, make a cool character, make a like a female protagonist that wasn't like too conventionally like attractive. I don't know. She's got like a weird,
Yeah.
cool haircut.
For alopecia.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, I don't know, just to like, I don't know, represent something different
Totally.
and be inclusive, diverse, all that good stuff.
Have you got anyone that saw Zoe and they're like, oh my God, finally, the sexiest character ever has been designed. Thank you, Zachary.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think Billy Bones is kind of hot.
Yeah, definitely. The dry Bowser fans, when they saw that, they're just like, oh, salivating.
Yeah, people have drawn like him like as a big, like sexy macho man. I feel like.
Oh yeah, that level of chauvinism with the cigar and everything, that really resonates with certain people.
Some people.
Activates a
Yeah.
neuron in there.
Mhm.
Not me. I mean, I don't even look him up more than twice a day. That'd be stupid. All right.
Yeah, and Lulu Pa's next question, we kind of touched on this, but he asks, after so much time has passed, how do you feel about Garbanzo Quest? Would you change anything if you did it again?
There's not much I would change about it. I don't have any big regrets. I said it once and I'll say it again. I love that game. It's my baby. It's important to me. Maybe I would have put Mr. Smiley in less levels. That's a popular complaint.
Okay.
Here's my
I
dog.
mean, there he is from the hit
He's-
game Garbanzo
The game
Quest.
itself.
Yeah, he is real. He just woke up. Hey, buddy.
Oh, very cute. What breed dog is that?
He's a Cavalier Spaniel. Thank
Amazing.
you. They're like little golden retrievers in terms of like personality. My
That's-
first dog was a golden retriever, and he was huge. He was like over 100 pounds.
Yeah, it was-
He was a big boy, and I adored that dog. But when he got old, it was hard to take care of him. So when it was time to get a new doggy, I was like, I'm gonna try to get something a little smaller.
a little small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You jump on you, don't
Yeah.
get, bowled over.
Exactly.
What's that?
Jumps on you don't fall over
Oh, yeah.
instantly, crack
Yeah.
your skull.
Yeah, he was very gentle. Luckily, like my big golden retriever.
Right on. All right, Nick, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So from Noldrum, he says, I want to say I found Garbanzo Quest really fun and well designed, but I did find it difficult at times, so I was very grateful for assist settings. I wanted to ask, will there be anything like that for Super Debt, or will I just have to tough it out and get good?
That is something I'm still mulling over. I did add some accessibility settings so my wife could play it, but I might take them out. You can slow the game down. That's the one accessibility setting I've added so far. But
I need trust fund mode, or I just
Trust fund
have
mode.
money,
I
Can I
had
just go
this
straight to
idea-
the end?
yeah, where it's like a DLC that makes it makes the game easier. Like if you give me, give me like $50. You
Yeah,
can
it
have
should be
easy mode.
really, really ridiculously high price. Yeah, I think that'd be
It's like
good.
Fortnite V-Bucks.
Any thought of inaccessibility settings to make the game harder?
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just I will definitely add stuff like that. Like challenge
Just
modes.
challenging modifiers. Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
because in Garbanzo
Colorblind
Quest,
simulator.
yeah, that's funny. In Garbanzo Quest, the accessibility settings can be tweaked in both ways. So like you could give yourself less health or more health. You can make the game slower or faster.
I think that's important and
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, totally. Cool. And then their last question, we did answer this already, but they were asking if Super Debt's Freedom Land and Garbanzo Quest's Freedom Land are the same place.
It's the branch timeline.
Yes,
Garbanzo
yes and
pulled
not
out the
quite.
Master Sword, and in the meantime, it all went to shit.
And as always, thank you, Video Ditch Q&A, community Q&A for submitting it. If you want to be a part of that, just jump in the Discord. I'd say leave a comment under the videos, but how would you know what we're talking about in the future? So just get in the Discord.
Yeah, go in there, go to the rules channel, look for the one that says react to this if you want the Left 4 Dead 2 role, do that, and I will enlist you to play Left 4 Dead 2 at some point.
Exactly. And that brings us to the plug section of today's episode. Zachary, where can viewers and listeners find this game? Your games, rather.
Yeah, please. So the Super Deck Kickstarter is happening now. You can just look up Super Deck Kickstarter on Google or Bing, whatever you use. All my games are on Steam and itch.io. Whatever you prefer. Super Deck will come out sometime. But if you want to play my first game, Garbanzo Quest, you can do that right now.
All right. Fantastic. And you should. And yeah, also a little word to the wise. I believe if you do pitch in for Super, that you can get a copy of Garbanzo Quest half off. So if you ever have had a strong desire to get a game half off, now's a chance that you can't pass up.
Mm-hmm. And it's all local co-op, so you can play it with someone you love.
You have a friend, you could go down to the liquor store, go up to the homeless guy, say,
"Hey,
like, listen, I remember you used to buy me beers back in the day. I'm just going to pay you back. You can be my player 2 in Garbanzo Quest. Take it back to your house. It'll be a great time."
Exactly. And as always, we'll leave our information in the links below. But we have been Video Ditch. Zachary, thank you for coming on. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time, viewers and listeners. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, keep on gaming in the free world.